Hey everyone, welcome back to Mama Needs a Minute. I'm Cassidy. I live in Utah. I'm mainly a toddler mom. Got 3 toddler boys. I work as a nurse a couple days a week here and there, and when I'm not super busy, I knit and sew and find projects to obsess over. So I just thought it'd be kind of fun. My husband is out of town and boys are finally asleep, and I just thought it'd be fun to kind of do like a pajama party video this time. I know probably by the time I get to posting this, everybody will not be in pajamas because I probably won't edit it tonight. It's been a busy toddler evening, but we'll see. So hence the pajamas and the Coke, because I want to stay up a little bit later tonight. I've got the twins' birthday coming up and I want to get some stuff done for that. So we'll see. I've been rewatching Downton Abbey, so I'm hoping to get a few things done while I catch up on a few episodes. But this is truly what I look like at the end of the day. Sometimes a ponytail, but literally just crawled into my pajamas. So not the glamorous life on this end, but it's life and it's glamorous in its own way. And you probably don't really care about that. So let's get into the knitting, shall we? I don't have any finished objects to show you guys. I've actually started more projects since the last time, which I think was like 3 weeks ago. But some exciting news with some finished objects that I have. My Marius sweater and my Annie sweater, I submitted them to the state fair and both got a first place ribbon. So that was exciting. I felt like I didn't enter anything last year, but 2 years ago when I entered just a quilt and like a little baby knit I did, I felt like they displayed them better. This year they switched buildings and a lot of the sweaters were just folded up, and so you couldn't really see a whole lot what was going on with them, not just mine but others, and they kind of had them placed randomly throughout the building, so it was really hard to find mine. I actually didn't think they were in the building at all, and I was like, crap, where'd they go? Because those were 2 sweaters I definitely don't ever want to like lose, because the Annie sweater took such a long time and the Marius sweater was the first sweater I ever made, first thing I ever knit on, and the first gift I ever gave my husband, so that needs to stay with us until we die. But yeah, other than that, I was really happy. It's exciting. I know not everybody who judges it, sorry, my face is distracting me, it's so shiny, but it is what it is. Sorry. Not everybody who judges them are knitters themselves or something, from what I understand. So, but it was still fun. And it's always nice to have your pride or your prized possessions, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but your knits get like a ribbon. So anywho, moving on to works in progress. I guess we'll start with the ones you guys have seen a handful of times. I'm just going to open my bag here. So the Moonset Tee, honestly, and now that I touch it, I'm like, oh, I should work on this. It's literally so soft. Okay, this is the JH Designs Vol yarn. This was the gift from my friend in Norway, Johanna. It's 85% cotton, 15% baby alpaca, and I found I don't love the feel of alpaca like on my skin, but like when I hold this up under here, like it's mostly cotton, so you can't really feel it. And it's seriously, it feels so soft. My hands are like a little bit rough, I think, right now, and so this, it's like, oh, I could just sit and hold this, and for some reason it's like really cold, so it feels good. I stopped in the middle of a row, but we're still working on the back yoke. I think last time I looked, I had still like 1.5 centimeters to go till I could stop that for a little bit and then move on to the shoulders. And there's like a huge line I'm noticing from it being folded up in the bag, but that all blocks out, so no worries there. Yeah, haven't really touched this in probably 2 weeks. I try to work on everything at least a little bit, but I've had too many other non-knitting projects and stuff going on. So, but this one's really nice just to take anywhere because it's literally just so thin and it just folds up and I can take it where I want. Next we'll move on to my, oh, that was the Moonset Tee by, I can't remember her name. Ozetta? I want to say. I don't know. Yep, Ozetta. And I really like the pattern. It's easy to follow. It's just thin yarn on tiny needles, so it's going to take forever. But I have till next summer, so that will probably be hopefully a finish by the end of this year goal, but we'll see. I know everybody's putting out their like fall make wish list and their winter makes and stuff like that, and really mine's just gonna be trying to get stuff done, except for the So Comfy cardigan that I want to do with Johanna. We talked about maybe trying to figure out a time where her and I can like FaceTime and do like our own little mini cast on party, which would be so fun. I miss her. Johanna, I miss you. I know you watch them sometimes, so hello, darling. Anywho, back to knitting. My Ingrid sweater, I have actually made a decent amount of progress on for 3 weeks, and with everything else I've got going on. Sorry, again, stopped mid-row, but it's awful. You can't even see because I'm holding it weird. I got both shoulders done. I have joined the shoulders, and I'm now starting to work on the front yoke. And I was further along on this 2 days ago. I've started doing like her little like mocked cable section. I decided to take a break from all my little projects yesterday and work on something for me. And I ended up doing an entire row of the mocked cables wrong. It wasn't anything to do with the pattern. I was really dumb in how I read the repeat section of the front yoke chart. And if you've seen the Ingrid sweater pattern, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But instead of just doing like a left leaning cable and a right leaning cable, the way it laid out, like in my head, because you start like with a left, then you do a right, then you do like 4 stitches, and then you do like another right and then a left. But you're only supposed to repeat like doing a left to right and 4, not like cable, cable, 4, cable, 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 cable. Did you follow that? So I was doing, instead of just doing 2 cable stitches, I was doing 4. And I didn't realize it until I reached the very end of the row, and there wasn't enough stitches to do like the end of the repeat section. And I think I did that on the front too, because once I realized it, I was like, crap. And then I remember messing up somewhere on the front, and it was so stressful to like work it out. But I think I've got it fixed. I should probably, now that I'm looking at it, recount my stitches and make sure I'm still at the number I want. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm hoping to have this done by Christmas. So I have a lot of work to do on it, but we will get there. It will be my Christmas gift to me. Probably one of many. I'm awful. Like, when I want my yarn stuff and everything like that, like, I'll buy it and give it to my husband and be like, this will be a Christmas gift. Please don't buy yarn on your own. You know, like, here you go. I bought this for myself because I couldn't help myself. Can't do anything with it right now. Save it for Christmas. But I've been pretty good about that. This year we've just had other things going on, so I haven't done a ton of yarn shopping since the Flock Fiber Fest. So hopefully I can keep that under control. But I'm very lucky. I have a husband who's very, very supportive of my hobbies, so it makes it fun. And he thinks knitting's cool. So, but he did tell me he refuses to learn to knit. There was like a TikTok where a wife had taught her husband to knit so they could have something to do together, and he like did 1 or 2 beanies, and then the last one I saw of her, she was like showing off this knitting bag she put together for him, and I sent it to Jody as a joke, and I was like, just when I thought I had the perfect marriage, here's somebody else who knits with their husband, and he was like, yeah, not a chance. So it's fine. It's cooler when you're the only person in your house that does it, because then nobody else understands like sometimes how simple it can be and how hard it looks. So that's fun. Okay, I think that is it for my works in progress. I decided with that Trout Glow Raglan sweater, I don't like the yarn. I really wanted to like it because everybody on TikTok was making it and it looks fine knit up. I've put it on a handful of times and I am not loving it. And with trying to de-stash and everything and trying to decide where my time should go, I've decided right now I'm not going to work on it. I did buy another colorway of that yarn, which somebody has already reached out to see if they could purchase from me. And guys, I did sell yarn since our last video. I was so good. I've sold like the majority of my big lots where they were all the same yarn. And I made a new acquaintance, knitting acquaintance, and she lives relatively close, so debated reaching out to her, but there's quite a difference in our ages, which isn't a huge deal, but can make things weird. We'll see. She was nice. She was cute. So I don't think you guys will be seeing that one ever again, and it kind of sucks when you spend time, like I seriously finished the whole body and I didn't love it, but such is making your own clothes, you know, and it's okay. I'd rather just spend time and energy and make things I want to wear. So right now it's in a tote. We'll see if I decide to try and sell it, keep it for a while before I like donate it or anything like that. But somebody may want that yarn and we'll make something beautiful and we'll wear it. So that'd be worth it. Little tangent there, sorry. Okay, the other thing that I have casted on. If you know me, I am 80% Coke, not 80% water, so keeps me alive. I'm gonna just claim that for my glowing complexion, which is just having little to no makeup on, but that's my beauty secret. Just drink Coke. Okay. This, I have made a huge amount of progress. I hadn't even casted this on my last video. So in 3 weeks, guys, which for those who knit a lot and can knit really fast, doesn't seem like a big deal. For me, this is a huge deal. So this is the birthday project I was talking about that I needed to start in my last video. It is the Home Cardigan by Caidreee Knits. I have knit this once before, back in February. I knit it for my mom's mom. And that grandma, she had tried to like teach me to knit when I was young, and I told her I'm never gonna do that. My mom taught me to crochet, and I was like, I'm a crocheter. One hook is easier than trying to do it with 2 sticks. And look where I'm at now. So I knit her one in the same yarns, but in a different color. Like hers was more of a light baby blue color, and it turned out really good. That was before I realized and knew that I was knitting all my stitches twisted, which I guess the whole garment is that way. It's just a design choice. So, but it took a lot longer than it should. I remember talking to Johanna about it, and she told me, like, if you don't knit twisted, you're gonna knit a lot faster. And she is right. And she probably would have this done in like a week, but I'm really proud of what I've done in 3 weeks. So I'm knitting this size large. I knit a little bit tight, and this grandma, I'm making this one for my dad's mom. She's a little bit taller than my other grandma. So my other grandma, I think I did the size medium because I was worried about it coming out too small, and it fits her pretty good. The only thing I don't like about hers is I did these giant painted buttons, and they look cute on it, but I feel like they weigh down the button band a little bit, and so it just kind of looks a little slouchy. I asked her about it. She likes them too much. She doesn't want me to change them, so I won't. So on this one, I'm definitely going to go with smaller buttons. I'm using, for the yarn, it is the Counter Rose Snuff Nug, which I believe means snowflake. I think I've shown you the yarn. I just hadn't casted it on. This is in the color Aubergine, and then I'm pairing it with the Knitting for Olive mohair, silk mohair, in the Bordeaux color, and they're a little bit slightly different. This I thought was going to be more cranberry on the website. It looked a little bit more red, and this grandma, like, she looked really pretty in purple, but she's definitely a little bit more of like a cranberry red to me, and so I paired it with a redder mohair. And like, sorry, it's nighttime, so the light's not awesome, but you can kind of tell, like, it gives it a nice color, and I think it's gonna look beautiful on her. I was trying to do this for her birthday. Her birthday was just this last Saturday. Obviously it did not get done, and I was not going to kill my fingers and bring myself to tears over sleeves and a button band, so I am this far ahead for her Christmas present, and my family just needs to keep their mouth shut about it. Don't tell grandma. But she deserves it. I hope she'll think it's nice and cozy. My sister lives with her, and my grandma's always complaining that it's cold. We used to live with her before our kids came, and she would always complain that it's cold, and it is not cold in her house. Not at all. So this is a very warm, very squishy, very soft fabric, so I'm hoping she'll get a lot of use out of it. But that is project 1, and like I said, I'm super happy with how far I've made it there. I've put that one on hold for a little bit. Honestly, now that I'm looking over at my nightstand, I don't know where the needles went to cast on those sleeves. My boys have been playing in my room, and they've discovered Mom has her own stuff in here, and they want to touch it. So some of my knitting stuff has been moved or lost, which is not ideal, but it's fine. Yeah. Sorry, this feels very sporadic, but it is what it is. You'll come to know me and to love me, hopefully. So, the other knitting project that I dropped my cake of yarn, and it just went all the way over my floor. Shoot. Well, that's fine. The project is staying right here. This is chaotic. This is why we don't do it at nighttime. Sorry, I'm going to be talking about her a lot. My friend Johanna messaged me about a make-along that she saw. And it's by This Nanny Knits, and she's doing a stripe hype make-along, I think is what she's calling it. And you just picked any project that had stripes in it, and then you just worked on that, and I think it ends in like October or something. No, I don't know when it ends, but I forget. So I had bought this yarn when we were at the Flock Fiber Festival with, she kind of gave me the idea to use this pattern Johanna did, and I'd seen this pattern before. It is the Holger shirt by Petite Knit, and it's super cute. And when I was at Flock, I had originally bought yarn for one of the twins. He wanted a blue sweater with no itch, because I've knit them one item. It was one sweater. He put it on and he could not stand it. It was way too itchy, and the other twin kind of complained about it. So when I was with somebody more experienced than I was in making kid clothes, she helped me pick out yarn. So I bought his blue yarn quantity And when I had sent a picture to my husband, be like, hey, show him, like, mommy got his yarn, because, you know, you're out of town, they miss mom, they want to see what you're doing. My other twin was like, I want a red, blue, and yellow sweater. So what we did was we picked out very Paw Patrol-esque colors, because that's his favorite show. And I am going to do the Holger shirt. I cast it on for this make along. I was a few days past their cast on party. We were out at a motorcycle race, and it was just wouldn't have been possible to be like, let me sit in the trailer, which it was hot. I wasn't going to sit in the trailer for an hour to do this, and zoom in at 9 a.m. while everybody's getting ready for the races and whatnot. So unfortunately I missed it. Hopefully I can make her next Zoom for the make along. But what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing blue and white for the middle, and then I'll do one red sleeve and one yellow sleeve. So now I have to grab that cake because I can't remember what that yarn was. Pardon me. So all of the colors I bought at the same booth in Flock, and it is from Fiber Hustle. And the blue is called Crater Lake, and they are fingering weight yarn. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 450 yards to 100 grams if you care about that stuff. But I should sit back. That's kind of not the best light on my face. That looked really kind of scary. I'm sorry. That is the color for this one, and I can't remember. I guess I can pull them down. 1 minute. Okay, I got it now. Sorry, I have like all my little bags up there. This is kind of my impromptu knitting corner in our bedroom. But then I have this yellow, a very rubble yellow, and this one's color is, and it was called Yellow. So there is that one. And then funny story with the red. First, let's find the ball band. The red is called Little Red Corvette, and as you can tell, the red did not play nice when I was caking it up. I decided to cake up during a nap time, which I should learn with myself don't do. Because, not that it's a huge issue, but my Swift kind of makes like a little bit of noise because I have to hook it up to my kitchen table with my yarn winder, or else I will have no room for it. And so I'm always like worried, like, is this keeping the boys up? Can they hear this grinding? Do they think I'm doing something fun? Like, please stay asleep. And I was working on it, and I did not attach my Swift very well to my table. So I'm sitting there and I'm winding and I'm just watching, and all of a sudden my Swift is like, timber, and it fell. And I've never had it fall before. And if you don't know what a mess that is to clean up fingering weight yarn in a hank that has then gone, and it was everywhere. And I tried so hard not to just be like, that's it, I'm cutting it. But I did. I cut it a lot. So I have a bunch of little balls. Like, I have a couple good decent size, and I think for the sleeves it only tells you need like 80 or so grams for the sleeves. I think it says 80. Well, I don't know, 84. I don't know, but that's for the largest size, and I'm knitting him. They're turning 4 this weekend, and I'm knitting him the 8 and 9-year-old size because, like I said, I knit tight. I worry things aren't gonna fit, so I always tend to do them a size or 2 larger. And for kids, like, I could roll up his sleeves. He's kind of a taller kid. He's about like the size of like a 5 to 6-year-old sometimes. So I think it'll fit him decently, but hopefully I can make do with the bigger balls and not have to use all those little scraps. Because I didn't throw away any yarn, but it's not pretty all wound up. So it will all live in this bag until I'm ready to use it. But this is, and again, okay, I stopped in the middle of a row. But this is how far I am on his back yoke. I just finished the short rows for it. So now I have to go back and forth for a decent little while. Get a couple of repeats, but look how cute that blue and white look. I'm so happy I picked the blue for the body, because for a second I almost did the red. I think if I would have done the red, it would have just not looked as cute. I really like blue and white together. The white is a Knitting for Olive Merino. I believe it's their cloud. Yeah. So it's just the cloud. I picked this up at one of my yarn stores here, Handwork in Salt Lake. If you haven't checked it out, totally recommend. I think the lady who runs it just is so cool, and she's sweet and nice. But they have a decent Knitting for Olive wall, which I liked. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I think so the race was last Saturday and Sunday, and I think I casted this on Monday or Tuesday. So I mean, look, I've done pretty well. And I tend, like lately on the days I've only knit during nap time, because for me that is mommy time, and it's my time to do what I would like to do, watch what I would like to watch. I'm trying to get some projects done for their birthday, so I've had to throw that in. But some days you just want to take an hour and do something that is just for you and only you're going to enjoy. And that is where this has mainly come from. Then I guess I'm going to show you one thing that I've been working on for their birthday. So the twins, we're doing a construction themed birthday. I'm calling them like the newest foremen or whatever. But because I think I need to hand make a bunch of stuff for decorations. The first thing I decided was I was going to do a banner of traffic cones, because my boys think traffic cones are just the coolest thing in the world. They love them. My dad has a handful at his house, and they just play with them. They like to bring them out, stack them, line them up, knock them down. So I don't want to like show you, but this is as far as we've come. So I cut these out of felt. Like I just found a traffic cone picture online and spent a slower shift at work cutting out the orange and the white. So then I put the white on top and I stitched it with orange. And now I am taking two cones, putting them, sandwiching them together and stitching them with the white. And then on Amazon I got this, it was like a race car pack for ribbon, but they had the road in it. And this will be super nice because my youngest is obsessed with cars and his birthday is in March. So double decoration. So I've sewn 4 of them together. Got 5 more to go, so it'll be like 9 total. And then the other things I'm working on for their birthday, it's all downstairs and they're not very like neat to show right now. But my kids also love mail. They like getting mail. They just want to open the mailbox. We check it about 5 times a day. And of course, 4 out of the 5 times we're upset that there's no mail because they've already gotten it. But I'm making them like cotton envelopes. And I have an embroidery machine, so I've been embroidering like our address with their name and like my parents' address, my husband's parents' address, just for cute. And like then I'll embroider like a little stamp in the corner. And I'm going to make a handful of envelopes for each boy and then make them each a mailman bag so they can dress up and play mailman. And I'll probably have to make one for the youngest too, because sharing just sometimes is not an option here. And it's just easier to have 3. And even if you have 3, moms of multiple toddlers will know it doesn't matter. They're still going to fight. So we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So I've been working on that. And then I wanted to make them a hopscotch mat. I saw it on Pinterest and I just thought it was cute. And with winter coming, you need fun indoor activities for kids to do. So I had all the squares cut out for that. I tried to embroider and then do Cricut numbers. The embroidery one, I couldn't get them big enough, and then the Cricut melted some of the fabric I picked, because there's like a fabric thrift store in Provo called Making Space, and she sells fabric really cheap for like $4 a yard for whatever fabric. And she had this whole wall of just all these colors, so I was just pulling fabric, not really paying attention, and some of the colors were like parachute-y kind of material. And with my smart brain, I was like, okay, the embroidery is not going to work, I'll just cut it out with my Cricut and iron it on. That melts. So back to square one with some of those squares. And then now I think I'm just gonna cut out the number like out of material with my Cricut and then just quickly top stitch it on. So once I get motivated on that one probably won't take me more than like 1 to 2 hours to actually make and finish. But for some reason I get these ideas in my head, I really want to do them, and then I procrastinate on doing them, and then I call my mommy for help. So we will see. Their birthday, we're celebrating it. Today is Tuesday. We're celebrating it Sunday. So let's see. And if I get them done, I will just take pictures and maybe post them on my next one. Yeah, and then it's just a few little small decoration things. Nothing very exciting, but super excited for them. I love planning birthdays and making fun little birthday memento things, because you only get to do so many as a mama. So it's been made fun. The other thing I did, and you guys probably are just like, we don't care, but if you're here and you've watched it for this long, obviously you either have nothing better to do or you're related to me, so you're gonna finish it out. I made a list of my current yarn stash, and I went through everything. This is when I told you guys that I really needed to de-stash and get my life organized, relook at what I had, so that I didn't feel like I had to jump on and buy everything. So what I did was I have it listed by the brand, and then sorry, like the weight or and then like the color underneath it, and I wrote how much I have of it and what I bought it for, if I could remember, or when I was going through it and I was justifying keeping it, it was like, what projects are you thinking you'll make with this? So I have, and of course, you know, you have to color code it. We buy highlighters, gotta use highlighters, and this is embarrassing. It's quite a bit. So I was proud. Most of them I still want to make the project that I intended them for. There are a couple where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but yeah. And then I do have in here, it's like a yarn and project wish list. The two that I have listed here are just yarns that I liked at Flock Fiber Fest and what I wanted to make with them, and they did not have the project quantity there. And I told myself I could order it online pretty much whenever. They weren't like Flock specific colorways. So I'm holding off. I'm being good. Who knows? Maybe I'll buy them for my husband to give me for Christmas. We'll see. And then the other one is like a project queue of ones that I really need to get on. And then I like mark them if I've started them. And then I will mark it when complete. And so I have 12 projects that are like the top 12 I really want to get done. And some of them are my cast on here, and I still have the trout sweater, so I'm going to need to get rid of that. And then the yarn stash continues. Just another page and a half. It's fine. It's fine. Other people's are worse, which doesn't necessarily make your evil better, but I don't know. Then the last thing, I guess, is acquisitions, and I don't have anything really fun in that way for yarn, except when I went to buy the knitting for Olive white merino. She is now the one at Handworks. She is now carrying Magpie fibers, and she might have always carried them. I didn't know who they were until Flock Fiber Festival, and I fell in love. Like, if you guys look back at that video, I spent some good money there. And she had this pattern where if you got the pattern for free if you bought the yarn required for it. So it is by Taylor Ann Knits, and it is her Monet striped asymmetrical shawl, and I have not knit a shawl yet. I haven't ever really worn a shawl, but I'm trying to change up my wardrobe a little bit, trying to expand, and I saw these two colorways for that, and I think they will just go so well together. Like this, it's pulling like pretty blue. There's a little bit more green in it than I think you're seeing, and then I think with that to make that asymmetrical shawl. So they're both Magpie Fibers Swanky Sock line, and it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, which we all know I'm a big fan of cashmere, and 10% nylon. And there's 400 yards to 115 grams. This is their Stars and Stones, and this is the Follow You Into the Dark. So that is the current plan for these. I couldn't resist. This is just so soft, and I loved them. I seriously sat in front of that wall forever. There was like a red, and then like a deep red, and then like a red, gray, and pink kind of colorway that was a little bit more like flecked, not quite so, I don't even know what you'd call that, but it didn't quite look like this, and I couldn't decide which one. And then I settled on this one, and I think I'll be happy with it. So there's that. Otherwise, yeah, just trying to get by. My husband's in the middle of his clinicals, so he's gone pretty much 5 days a week, which means my family's over here pretty much 5 days a week, because I like having an adult to talk to. My kids are cute, and I love my kids, but my kids are also 3 and 2. So it makes for a long day sometimes, and especially depending if they don't nap, which has been more often than not now. They're like skipping naps, which the twins might be growing out of it, but the younger one, he definitely needs his naps, and he's been the one that's been keeping everybody awake. So it's made for some interesting afternoons. You know, I'm to the point in motherhood where you say things that you never thought you'd say, and telling them to get things out of their mouths that you never thought you'd have to tell another human being. But wouldn't trade it for anything. It's a happy type of exhaustion. Yeah. I think next time I might have more pictures to show you, just of stuff I make for the boys' birthday. We've started working on our quilts again, my mom and my sister-in-law and me. And we got together, we made the binding for our quilt, and then we sewed them on, and then we all realized that we all sewed them on a different way, and they were all wrong in a different way. So now I have to unpick that. But I've got this birthday stuff to get through, and then I've got my one boy wants me to make him a bat Halloween costume, and I bought fabric today because I have no self-control to make them trick-or-treat pumpkin baskets. Like, they're on TikTok or Pinterest or something, but they're like kind of quilted. They're super cute. My mom did remind me I have 30 days to get that done, so we will see. We have longer than 30 days, a little bit, but anyway, I hope this was fun. Thanks for joining me late at night. Sorry the lighting kind of was not great and that my thoughts are not all complete, but it is, I don't even know how late. So it was kind of fun. I just figured this would be more mellow, and I don't know, it's kind of fun to do it in your pajamas. It makes it feel cozy, friendly. But I hope you all are well, and I hope you enjoy this coming into fall season and you find things to make you cozy and happy. But we'll see you next time. Bye!